Atlanta visit Rev Jesse Jackson's initiative to help India's COVID relief efforts. People vaccinated against COVID-19 can go without mask indoors and outdoors, CDC says. 2020 Starz Immigration Updates by attorney Jaspreet Singh. Hello and welcome to 2020 Starz. I'm your host Namita and thanks so much for watching us on timestars.com. Civil rights activist and politician Rev Jesse Jackson visited Global Mall Atlanta on Saturday. He was there to help India's COVID relief efforts. In an effort to expand his call for additional emergency vaccines and equipment for India, where more than 24 million people are now infected with the coronavirus and 262,000 people have died, Rev Jesse L. Jackson Sr. held a press conference with Indian leaders in Atlanta Saturday, May 15th at the famous Global Mall. Many renowned Atlanta-based community organization representatives shared the dais with Rev Jackson.
Many volunteers to represent the Push Coalition. We've missed many people want to help do something. Some people give money, something to offer the hospitals from American access to respirators, all the hospitals, people died and all that. They can't breathe. And can't breathe. We must get the equipment they need. We've been over in Baltimore with President Biden. He altered the rules that were to get them out of Baltimore. We should keep working. So there's no sort of turn. And sometimes we say ourselves, this ain't running. That is the world big. What's there out of challenge? Because I real interest in this situation. So we have an opportunity to serve. Christ gives us an opportunity to serve.
Thank you so much.
Closing remarks were given by Ms. Reena Gupta, Public Relations Director, 27th Investments.
And thank you everyone for showing up at such a short notice, especially President of API, Dr. Sudhakar Chonagata, who drove all the way up here from Lancaster. I am Reena Gupta, the Director of Public Relations at 27 Investments and today's co-host. This is a humanitarian crisis of proportions that we have not seen before. And we are fortunate to have Rev Jesse Jackson with us to help us impress upon the administration just how important those vaccines are to India. Thank you, Reverend, for your time, your compassion, and most importantly, your words, which I have no doubt will be heard loudly in Washington.
The event was a huge success, and with Rev Jesse Jackson's presence, India's COVID relief efforts got different heights.
सत श्री अकाल सारे भैन भरावां नूं मेरी अपील है कि अपने हिंदुस्तान दे सारे हिंदुस्तान कंट्री दे सारे मुल्क दे विच कोविड-19 दा बड़े क्राइसिस चल रहे हैं। असीं देख नहीं सकते कि लोग ऑक्सीजन की शॉर्टेज करके मर रहे हैं, वेंटिलेटर नहीं होते। असीं अच्छी वैबसाइट जॉय शेयरिंग दे थ्रू असीं मैक्सिमम हेल्प कर रहे हैं। जिस तरह सारे गुरुद्वारे इंडिया दे विच ऑक्सीजन का लंगर लगा रहे हैं सारे इंडिया च, बड़ी खुशी की गल है। एंड हर घर दे खाना डिलीवर फ्री कर रहा है जिन्हें कोविड पेशेंट नूं। मेरी सारी भैणां भरावां अगे हथ जोड़ के बेनती है कि मैं चाहना कि तुसी मैक्सिमम जो भी है जॉय शेयरिंग दे वास्ते तुसी किसी गुरुद्वारे, किसी मंदिर, किसी मस्जिद दे विच सारे पंजाबी भरावां नूं मेरी अर्ज है कि तुसी वध तो वध अपनी डोनेशन दवो ताकि जेडे भरा खास करके ऑक्सीजन की शॉर्ट करके वेंटिलेटर शॉर्ट करके मर रहे हैं उन्हें बचाना चाहिए। ते मेरी थोड़ी हाथ जोड़ के बेनती है कि तुसी प्लीज मैक्सिमम पार्टिसिपेट करो। वाहिगुरू का खालसा, वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह।
People fully vaccinated against COVID-19 do not need to wear masks or practice social distancing indoors or outdoors, except under certain circumstances, the director of the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention announced Thursday.
Today, CDC is updating our guidance for fully vaccinated people. Anyone who is fully vaccinated can participate in indoor and outdoor activities, large or small, without wearing a mask or physical distancing. If you are fully vaccinated, you can start doing the things that you had stopped doing because of the pandemic. We have all longed for this moment when we can get back to some sense of normalcy. Based on the continuing downward trajectory of cases, the scientific data on the performance of our vaccines, and our understanding of how the virus spreads, that moment has come for those who are fully vaccinated. Now, if you are immune compromised, you will most definitely want to talk to your doctor before giving up your mask. Also, locations such as healthcare facilities will continue to follow their specific infection control recommendations. And lastly, this past year has shown us that this virus can be unpredictable. So if things get worse, there is always a chance we may need to make change to these recommendations.
President Biden too shared this positive news with the media.
This recommendation holds true whether you are inside or outside. I think it's a great milestone, a great day. It's been made possible by the extraordinary success we've had in vaccinating so many Americans so quickly. To date, we've given out 250 million shots in 114 days. And we're seeing the results. Cases are down in 49 of 50 states. New York Times has reported that hospitalizations are the lowest they've been since April of 2020, over a year ago.
Dear friends and family, our beloved motherland, India, is going through a COVID-19 crisis with loss of 3,000 lives a day. There's a tremendous need for oxygen cylinders, oxygen concentrators, mechanical ventilators, and PPE, besides essential medicines. This is a time to show our solidarity with our family and friends and make your contributions to this cause. No contribution will be small. Every contribution will go a long way to alleviate this crisis. Please go to the site below to make your contributions. Million thanks to my Indian American community, and I'm proud of you, and working together we'll get through this crisis. Thank you and Jai Hind.
And our latest on immigration news. Let's have a look at the 2020 Starz immigration expert Jaspreet Singh, attorney at law, has for us for this week.
So welcome in this program for Immigration Updates. So my name is Jaspreet Singh. I am an immigration attorney. I have offices in New York, New Jersey and California, and I have been practicing immigration for the last 23 years. And first of all, I will like to give you an update on the visa bulletin for May, because a lot of people ask questions about these categories. The F4 category, where the US citizens apply for their brothers and sisters and their unmarried children. The date is April 15th, 2005. F3 category, where the US citizen applies for their married children and their children. The date is 22nd August 2008. F2B category, where a green card holder applies for unmarried children over 21. The date is 15th August 2015. F2A category is a green card holder applying for their husband, wife and children under 21. The date is current. And F1 category also, the date is 22nd October 2014. So now the dates where NVC is asking for documents, because you know when the petition is approved, then the priority date comes near. The NVC asks for the documents. Those include civil documents like birth certificates, marriage certificates, police clearance certificates, passport clearance certificates, affidavit of sports and so forth. So those dates are, for F4 category it is December 1, 2005. For F3 category is 22nd June 2009. F2B category is 22nd June 2016. F2A category is 1st April 2021 and F1 category is October 1st, 2015. So this was the visa bulletin for May, and in the coming programs I will give you more update on this. And if you have any questions also on immigration, you can always email me at jpsinghattorney@gmail, or under this video you can ask your question. I will try to reply it in the next program. And two other important developments this week in immigration are: first, the DHS has decided to halt fingerprint requirements for spouses of immigrant workers. So now the spouses, like husbands and wives of H1B workers holders and L1 visa holders, people who have H1B or L1, and their spouses who come with them under those programs, they will not be fingerprinted. So this has been done to reduce the backlog. Plus, people who are under 14, like children who are under 14, they will also not be fingerprinted, because the previous administration, they tried to implement this policy to fingerprint more people, but now the government thinks that this delays the process. So they have changed this requirement that the spouses of H1B holders or L1 holders, they will not be fingerprinted now, and the children under 14 will not be fingerprinted. Then there is another update that is regarding the DNA, because the previous administration has decided to collect DNA in almost every single family category case, which included the F4 category, F3 category. But now Biden administration has withdrawn the Trump rule for collecting DNA from immigrants. So now DNA will only be collected from those people where the USCIS thinks that the case has some difficulties or problems regarding whether the relationship exists or not. So where the relationship exists, there will be no DNA. But if there is a doubt on the relationship, they think that the person who is applying for the other person, he's not their brother or sister, or he's not their parent, so then they can do the DNA. But otherwise, if the primary evidence or secondary evidence is sufficient, the DNA will not be required. So that is very important, because the previous administration wanted to do DNA in every single case, and that created significant backlogs in the cases, especially pertaining to the F4 category or F3 category, and many people got their cases denied, and then they had to file appeals, so forth. So this is a very important decision that under the family immigration category, now DNA won't be required for people who apply for their parents, or who apply for their children, or who apply for their brothers and sisters. Only where the government thinks there is some fraud, the DNA will be required. And the last thing is that the Biden administration has raised the refugee admissions cap to 62,500. In 2019, the refugee admission cap was about 30,000, so they have doubled it. So they have increased it to 62,500 now. So this is very important for those people who want to come to the US under the refugee program. So basically three kinds of people come under this. First are those people who have been persecuted in their like countries, and the persecution is widespread. They have civil war there, or there is genocide, and the US government, the State Department or the embassy decides it. Second are those people who come from special countries which USA has special concern, like the former Soviet Union, like USSR, now Russia, and then Burma or Iraq, or countries like those. And third are the spouses or children of those people who have already come here under the refugee program. So if they want to come, they can apply. So now they have raised the cap from 30,000 to 62,500. This is a welcome step. So these were the important news this week. So in the next week, I'll bring some new important development that have been taking place in the US in immigration. So it'll be my try to tell you about all the new developments that are taking place here every week, especially in the immigration field, or any new court decisions that come up, because they are sometimes very important in this field. And if you have any questions, you can email me at jpsinghattorney@gmail, or you can send those questions on this video, under the video, and I will try to answer those questions in the coming days. Thank you very much. Sat Sri Akal.
Well, that's all in this bulletin. Thanks so much for watching. You can also watch this show at timestars.com. Till next time, this is your host Namita signing off. Bye-bye.